Happy Tuesday morning, everyone. What a gorgeous day it is today. I have a really serious question for you. Are you the tortoise or are you the hare? Remember the story when we were kids, the tortoise and the hare? The hare, also known as a bunny, would go around bragging to everybody about how fast he was, and he always won the race, and no one could ever beat him. And he kept challenging the tortoise to a race. And finally, the tortoise said, "Sure, I'll race you." The hare was so full of himself, he thought that he wouldn't have a problem winning that race at all. And the tortoise felt that he could win the race because he was slow and steady. And that was going to help him win the race. So the hare hopped off way ahead of the tortoise when the gun went off, and he was so far ahead the tortoise that the hare couldn't even see the tortoise behind him. So he felt so confident at that point, he decided to lay down and take a nap. He was having wonderful dreams, and he was in such a deep sleep that he didn't even know that the tortoise had already passed him. And the tortoise ended up winning the race. I see this mindset in people's lives all the time. I see it in their businesses. I see it in their relationships. I see it when they're dealing with health issues. I know you've seen it too. Hey, thanks for joining me live. The tortoise and the hare mentality is everywhere. We live in this society of instant gratification, and we want everything right now. We see all these ads as entrepreneurs. Make 6 figures in 3 months or 6 months. And we jump right in and we take off just like the hare. But we don't take the time to get the foundational things in place on which we're building our business. I see it in relationships. People meet each other. Next thing you know, 6 months later, they're engaged. They haven't even really had enough time to lay the foundation for a strong, healthy relationship. And I see it all the time with people's health and wellness. They're in a bad place, but they want to take that pill that they saw on the commercial that tells them they can lose all the weight in 30 days, even though it took them 10 years to put the weight on. It took them 10 years to get to this place of being sick. But they want it all to go away in 30 days. They want that magic bullet. It's really everywhere. I have a friend who's going to be running a 5K. She has never run a 5K before, and she knew that she didn't know how to lay the foundation for her preparing herself for the 5K. She's really dedicated to doing well, but she doesn't want to injure herself. And since she's never done a 5K, she decided that she really needed to work with someone who could teach her how to lay that foundation and build upon it, so that by the time she got to the 5K race, she could do really well without injuring herself. And so the foundation started with walking a certain amount of miles every week. And she was tracking what she was doing. And then the next week, she's walking some more. And with each week that passes, the way that she's preparing for the race gets a little bit more intense. There's a little bit more activity. And as that activity increases, it also shifts. So as she's going along, 1 week, she might be walking every other day and then doing a short run. And then even within the runs themselves, she might be running for 5 minutes, walking for 5 minutes, running 5 minutes, sprinting for 5 minutes, running for 5 minutes, walking for 5 minutes, because she's training her body to be able to handle getting to that starting line and running full out the entire 5K. But she has to lay that foundation. And it's such an exciting process because you can really see how you're progressing through it. But it takes time. She's a tortoise. She's a tortoise who's going to blow it up when she runs that 5K because she took the time to lay the foundation and do it the right way. Are you doing that? Are you taking the time to lay the foundation for your business, for your relationships, for your health, for losing that undesirable weight that you've had on you now for years? Are you stepping back and laying that foundation and moving through it slowly so you can make sure that you've got all of the pieces in place that are going to support you when your business, when your relationships, when your health, when your weight starts coming off, when all of these things start to grow exponentially? Have you laid that foundation to grow it upon? Have you taken a step back and taken the time to slow down? I have this saying that I use all the time: slow down so you can speed up. Slow down so you can speed up. If you have the foundation in place and you start out slowly, once you take off, you're going to be way more successful because you've got all of the foundational pieces in place that are going to support you. And that's in every area of your life, whether it's your business, whether it's your career, whether it's your family, whether it's your relationships, whether it's your health and your weight. You need to have that foundation. And this is what I do with my clients. Honestly, almost everybody that comes to me because they want to lose the unwanted weight that they've put on over the years, most of them have health issues. And the issues I see the most are pre-diabetic, high cholesterol, and heart issues, high blood pressure. And those are the three things that are going to kill us. Those are the three top killers. So it's really important to kind of take a step back and build that foundation so that once the weight starts coming off, you can soar and you can do it successfully and you can lose the weight for life because you've taken the time to build that foundation. Slow and steady wins the race. If you have lost the weight and gained it back and lost the weight and gained it back and lost the weight and gained it back, or maybe you've had a healthy weight for most of your life, but now you've hit midlife and everything in your body is shifting and you just can't seem to get your body to cooperate with you in releasing the weight that you want to release, you got to step back and look at the foundational stuff and see what's happening there and correct that and shift that in a way that's going to support you so that you can reach your goals. It's my goal as a coach to teach my clients how to become the experts on themselves, how to understand how to read their bodies and the messages that their bodies are giving them so they can answer those cues that their body's giving to them in a supportive way. I have a client who was having a really rough day yesterday. Something really upsetting happened to her. And with all my clients, they have full access to me via text message. I feel like my clients need that kind of support. So when things happen and they feel like they're going to go off the rails, that there's someone there to help them. And I know most coaches don't do that. In fact, my own coaches tell me I'm crazy for doing that. But I feel like my clients need that. So I had a client yesterday who had something happen. She was really, really upset. She texted me and she's like, can you talk for a minute? I was not in a position to talk because I was already working with another client. But I said to her, I can squeeze you in at such and such time for 30 minutes. We can have a conversation. And by the time we had our conversation, she was already starting to binge eat. And I was so glad that I could be there for her because I could stop her in her tracks, give her a different perspective on the situation that was occurring that was causing her to go back to that instant gratification that we all search for all the time. Comforting herself with the food instead of changing her perspective on the situation so she didn't have to turn to food to comfort her. I know a lot of you out there know exactly what I'm talking about. We've all learned to be comforted by food in our lives. And so many of us turn to food as a comfort when we're upset. And binge eating is a real problem for people. So, wouldn't you want to work with somebody who you can text when you're ready to drop off the side of the cliff because something's happened, and have a conversation with them so they can get you in a mindset where you're not going to undo all the hard work that you've done, and also that you're going to have the skills moving forward, that the next time that something happens like that that's really devastating to you, you will stop, you'll pause, and you'll think about what you can do instead of turning to food to comfort yourself. And that's what I work on with my clients. They are successful with their weight loss because we put the tools in place, the skills that they need to have, and each person needs a different set of skills because we're all individual. And they put those things in place so that once they lose the weight, they have all the tools they need to keep the weight off for life. And they have become the experts on themselves. They know how to read their body and understand what signals mean, what their body is trying to tell them, and to respond to those in a way that is going to support a healthy weight and support their health. My clients come off their medications. My clients' blood pressure goes down. My clients' cholesterol levels go down. My clients are no longer pre-diabetic because of the work that we do together. If this is something that you're dealing with and you've been dealing with for a long time, maybe you've tried a lot of different, diets or food programs and nothing seems to be working for you, and you're really just over it. Like, you really just want to stop the damn dieting and figure out how to lose the weight for life. Let me know how I can help. I'm here for you. And I want to create a ripple effect in the world so that the obesity problem is not what it is today. Do you know that 73% of the adult American population is either overweight or obese, and there are a lot of health issues tied to that? So it's not just about losing the weight, it's about creating optimal health. And if that's what you want to do, if that's where you are in your life and you're looking for someone to talk to about working together, grab a spot on my calendar. Let's have a conversation. Tell me where you are and tell me where you want to go. And I promise you'll walk away with at least one helpful tip that you can start today. But I want you to be the healthiest version of you. You know why? Your health affects every area of your life. It affects your finances. It affects your relationships. It affects everything. And there's no reason why you can't be healthy and at a healthy weight for the rest of your life. So if you're ready to be an expert on yourself, if you're ready just to have a conversation with someone who's going to get you on a really deep level and help you get from where you are to where you want to go, jump on my calendar. The link is right there. And let's have a conversation. Thanks so much for joining me. Love being here with you guys. I will see you tomorrow. Until next time, go out and make it a great day.